Leading Case 21, SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd and Anr Supp 4 SCR 688. In this video, we delve into the significant case of SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd and Anr Supp 4 SCR 688, a landmark ruling that has shaped the legal framework of construction disputes and contract law in India. This leading case provides valuable litigation insights and legal commentary on the principles of arbitration and dispute resolution. We analyze the Supreme Court's judicial ruling and its implications on the civil law landscape, making it an essential case study for legal professionals and scholars. Gain a deeper understanding of the legal precedent set by this case and its relevance in Indian law, as we break down the court decisions and their significance in the context of contract law and dispute resolution. Hi, I am Advocate Dr. Saurabh Kapoor bringing you a video on this fascinating topic like this. But before you start watching this video, I request you to kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon to my YouTube channel to view videos like this more. Please leave a comment below telling your thought and idea about this video and future videos you want. Kindly share this video with your friends, family and social groups to spread this knowledge. The dispute arose from a construction contract between SBP and Co and Patel Engineering Ltd. The contract included a clause that stated that in case of any dispute, the matter would be referred to arbitration. The contract also included a provision for appointment of an arbitrator by the parties, and in case they failed to do so, the court was empowered to make the appointment. When a dispute arose between the parties, SBP and Co approached the court to appoint an arbitrator. Patel Engineering Ltd. objected to the appointment, arguing that the dispute did not fall within the scope of the arbitration clause in the contract. The court examined the language of the arbitration clause and held that it was wide enough to cover the dispute. The court noted that the language of the clause was broad and did not restrict the scope of the disputes that could be referred to arbitration. The court also observed that the clause was in line with the policy of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, 1996, which encourages parties to resolve their disputes through arbitration. In conclusion, the court held that the dispute fell within the scope of the arbitration clause and directed the parties to appoint an arbitrator to resolve the matter. This case is significant as it underscores the importance of clear and unambiguous language in contracts, particularly with respect to dispute resolution mechanisms. Section 11 deals with the appointment of arbitrators. The parties are free to agree upon the procedure for the appointment of arbitrators. In case of 3 arbitrators, each party has to appoint 1 arbitrator, and those 2 arbitrators should appoint a 3rd arbitrator who shall be the presiding arbitrator. In case either the parties or the 2 arbitrators fail to appoint an arbitrator within 30 days, then upon the request of the parties, the Supreme Court or the High Court or any person or institution designated by the court shall appoint one. In the case of SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd and Anr, the court questioned whether the Chief Justice exercised judicial power or administrative power. It was held that the powers held by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court or the High Court or any designated judge of the Act exercise judicial power and not administrative powers. The power under Section 11 of this Act, in its entirety, could be delegated. The Chief Justice of the High Court can delegate it to any judge of the High Court, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court can delegate it to any judge of the Supreme Court. In the case of designation of a judge of the High Court or the Supreme Court, the power that is exercised by the designation judge would be that of the Chief Justice as conferred by the statute. The Chief Justice or the designated judge will have the right to decide the initial aspects. The Chief Justice or the judge designated would be allowed to seek the opinion of an institution in the matter of nominating an arbitrator qualified under Section 11 of the Act. Designation of a district judge as the authority under Section 11 of the Act by the Chief Justice of the High Court is not a justifiable aspect of the Act. Once the matter is in the hands of an arbitral tribunal or the sole arbitrator, the High Court or the Supreme Court cannot further interfere in the matter. Unless the parties approach the court under Section 34 or 37 of the Act, since the order passed by the Chief Justice of the High Court or the designated judge is a judicial order, an appeal can be taken forward only under Article 136 of the Constitution of India. There can be no appeal against an order by the Chief Justice of India or the judge of the Supreme Court under Section 11 of the Act. Did you know that this case set a significant precedent in Indian contract law, particularly regarding the enforceability of arbitration agreements? It highlighted how courts balance the intent of the parties against the need for judicial intervention. SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd is a landmark case that has had a profound impact on the development of arbitration law in India. This case has been cited countless times in subsequent judgments, and its significance cannot be overstated. The importance of this case lies in its clarification of the legal framework surrounding arbitration agreements, and its effects are still felt today. In this case, the Supreme Court had to navigate complex issues of jurisdiction, arbitrability, and the enforceability of arbitral awards. The court's ruling has provided guidance to lower courts and tribunals, shaping the landscape of arbitration law in India. Its influence extends beyond India, with courts in other jurisdictions also drawing inspiration from this landmark judgment. As we delve deeper into the case, we'll explore the essential background information, the arbitration process, and the key events that led to the Supreme Court's ruling. So, let's dive right in and examine the intricacies of SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd. Patel Engineering Ltd, a renowned Indian construction company, had entered into a contract with the Maharashtra State Electricity Board for the construction of a hydroelectric project. The contract contained an arbitration clause, which provided that any disputes arising out of the agreement would be resolved through arbitration. SBP and Co, a partnership firm, was appointed as the arbitrator to resolve the disputes between the parties. The disputes revolved around the scope of work, delays, and payment disputes. The arbitrator, SBP and Co, passed an arbitral award in favor of Patel Engineering Ltd, directing the Maharashtra State Electricity Board to pay a substantial amount to the company. However, the board challenged the arbitral award, citing jurisdictional issues and disputing the arbitrator's authority. The case then went through a series of appeals, with the High Court of Bombay ultimately ruling in favor of Patel Engineering Ltd. The Maharashtra State Electricity Board appealed to the Supreme Court, which ultimately led to the landmark judgment we're discussing today. The arbitration proceedings were marked by controversy, with the Maharashtra State Electricity Board raising objections to the arbitrator's jurisdiction and the scope of the arbitration agreement. The board argued that the disputes were not arbitrable, and the arbitrator had exceeded his jurisdiction. Patel Engineering Ltd, on the other hand, contended that the arbitration agreement was valid, and the arbitrator had the authority to resolve the disputes. The company argued that the disputes were within the scope of the arbitration agreement, and the arbitrator's award was binding on the parties. The Supreme Court had to navigate these complex legal issues, balancing the parties' intent with the need for judicial intervention. The court delved into the intricacies of the arbitration agreement, examining the language and the context in which it was entered into. The court's ruling was a significant milestone in the development of arbitration law in India. In a detailed judgment, the court addressed various aspects of arbitration, including the scope of the arbitration agreement, the arbitrator's jurisdiction, and the enforceability of arbitral awards. The court held that the arbitration agreement was valid, and the arbitrator had the authority to resolve the disputes. The court further held that the arbitral award was enforceable, and the Maharashtra State Electricity Board was bound to comply with the award. The implications of this ruling were far-reaching, providing clarity on the legal framework surrounding arbitration agreements in India. The court's ruling has had a profound impact on the development of arbitration law, influencing subsequent judgments and shaping the landscape of arbitration in India. The Supreme Court's ruling in SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd has been cited in numerous judgments, reinforcing the importance of arbitration agreements and the need for judicial restraint in intervening in arbitration proceedings. This landmark case has clarified the legal framework surrounding arbitration, providing guidance to parties, tribunals, and courts. The importance of this case extends beyond India, with courts in other jurisdictions drawing inspiration from this judgment. The case has contributed significantly to the development of international arbitration law, shaping the global landscape of dispute resolution. In conclusion, SBP and Co v Patel Engineering Ltd is a landmark case that has had a profound impact on arbitration law in India and beyond. The case has clarified the legal framework surrounding arbitration agreements, providing guidance to parties, tribunals, and courts. This case is a must-study for anyone interested in arbitration law, contract law, or dispute resolution. It provides valuable insights into the complexities of arbitration and the challenges that parties and tribunals may face during the arbitration process. If you're interested in learning more about arbitration law, I encourage you to explore our playlist on arbitration and landmark legal cases. We have a wealth of content that delves into the intricacies of arbitration, contract law, and dispute resolution. Share your thoughts on this case in the comments below, and let us know what you think about the implications of this landmark judgment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on arbitration, contract law, and dispute resolution.